Cancel send. You are exhausted, but not in a way that sleep can solve. This is a deeper kind of exhaustion, a mental and emotional drain. You feel like a power source that everyone connects to, pulling from you day after day, while you keep smiling and saying, "It's okay." But it isn't okay. You look around and notice people with less skill, less insight, and less commitment receiving the recognition you should have. Meanwhile, you are asked for favors. You are spoken over. You receive whatever time and attention people have left. You believe your kindness is a strength. You think that if you give a little more, sacrifice a bit longer, people will eventually notice. That they will value you. They won't. In reality, the more you give without limits, the less respect you receive. In the hidden layers of human psychology, generosity without boundaries is not interpreted as care. It is interpreted as weakness. And people do not value what costs them nothing. They take from it until there is nothing left. If you want this pattern to end, if you want to change the dynamic from being used to being in control of your own life, you must do one specific thing. It goes against everything you were taught about being nice. But once you do it, people will stop taking advantage of you and start recognizing the impact of your absence. Most people live as NPCs, non-player characters, in someone else's story. They exist to be used. You have been playing that role. You were taught that your usefulness defines your worth. That being helpful makes you safe. This belief is what keeps you trapped. By the end of this video, we will dismantle that belief. We will carefully remove the nice person conditioning that attracts manipulators, narcissists, and those who drain your energy. I am not going to tell you to simply be confident. I am not going to say love yourself. Those phrases change nothing. Instead, we are going to examine how power actually works. We will explore the idea of the monster in the garden. We will explain why being harmless is not a virtue. And you will be given the psychological tools to become mentally untouchable. Understand this clearly. This change is uncomfortable. It requires letting go of who you are right now. The person who apologizes for existing. The person who agrees while their instincts say no. That version of you must end so a self-directed individual can emerge. This is not about becoming cruel. It is not about turning into a villain. It is about learning one psychological trigger that forces others to reassess your value immediately. Most people never discover this. They live with resentment, wondering why they gave everything and received nothing. You are here to understand why. Let's begin by looking at the biology behind this. In nature, predators rarely attack other predators unless necessary. A lion does not hunt a wolf for entertainment. The risk is too high. Predators target what is slow, weak, and defenseless. When you present yourself as harmless, always agreeable, always available, always pleasant, never pushing back, you signal that you are easy to exploit. You believe you are signaling goodness. Look, I don't create problems. But the primitive brain of those around you, even people who care about you, receives a different message: no consequences. And where there are no consequences, there is no respect. Consider the people you respect most. Is it because they comply with every request? Is it because they are incapable of pushing back? No. You respect them because they have boundaries. They have strength. You know that crossing a certain line will lead to a response. There is potential cost. Jordan Peterson has touched on this idea, but let's be direct. A harmless man is not a good man. A harmless man is not a virtuous man. A harmless man is simply defenseless. And defenselessness is not a choice. True virtue comes from having the ability to cause damage, the capacity to speak hard truths, to walk away, to end connections, and choosing You have no teeth. You have taught them that no matter what they do, cancel plans at the last minute, talk over you, underpay you, cheat on you, you will stay. You will explain it away. You will forgive it. You will try to understand them. Stop trying to understand. Start observing. They are not confused. They are not struggling. They are testing the boundary. And every time they push and the boundary collapses, they realize they own the ground. You have shown them that you are cheap property. This is the first truth you must accept. You are not a victim of their cruelty. You are a victim of your lack of boundaries. You handed them the weapon they are using against you. Why? Because you are afraid. You are terrified that if you show strength, if you reveal your darker side, they will leave. And deep down, you believe you are not enough to make them stay unless you are useful. You believe that if you stop doing, you stop existing. This is the bond you carry with the world. You are trying to purchase love through service. And it is a deal where you lose every single day. The first step to ending exploitation is to stop being harmless. It is to integrate strength. We will discuss how to do that. But first, you must understand how the trap works. You are running a scam, even if you don't realize it. You think you are being good, but psychologically, you are operating under a hidden agreement with everyone around you. The agreement goes like this: I will hide my needs. I will never show anger. I will do everything for you. I will be the perfect worker, partner, and friend. And in return, you must love me, protect me, and never abandon me. Here is the problem. You never told them this deal existed. You signed it silently, and now you are angry that they are not honoring it. You resent that they don't predict your needs the way you predict theirs. You are bitter that they don't sacrifice for you. But why would they? You made it unnecessary. This is the shadow side of the nice guy or nice girl pattern. It is manipulative. It is a method to avoid rejection by becoming essential. If I am useful enough, they won't discard me. It is the survival strategy of a servant trying to avoid punishment. But the servant remains a servant. When you live by a hidden contract, you are not giving freely. You are lending, expecting repayment. And when people don't pay you back with appreciation or validation, resentment builds. That resentment leaks out. It shows up in passive comments. It shows up in sighs while doing chores. It shows up in silence and withdrawal. People sense it. They smell the bitterness, and it repels them. It makes them respect you less. They begin to see you as a martyr. And martyrs are only respected after they are gone. You must tear up the contract. You must stop trading obedience for love. Because what you receive in exchange is not love, it is approval. And approval is addictive. It fades quickly, leaving you desperate for more. Real respect, the kind that stops people from taking advantage of you, comes when you act without expecting anything back, or more importantly, when you act in your own interest. There is an economic principle called opportunity cost. Every yes you give costs you a no somewhere else. When you agree to help someone move while exhausted, you say no to your own recovery. When you accept unpaid overtime, you say no to your self-respect. You are selling your time for almost nothing. And anything that is always available has no value. Air is essential, but messages from certain people keep coming. That's fine. Let the dead leaves drop. You are afraid of being alone, so you hold on to people who exhaust you. But solitude is better than bondage. In solitude, you can create. In bondage, you only serve. When you make your presence scarce, its value rises. Your yes becomes costly. If you decline 90% of requests, the 10% you accept turn into moments. They become privileges. People start thinking, he said yes to me, I must matter. Do you see the reversal? Before, you were asking them to see your worth. Now, by limiting your availability, you make them feel valued when you engage. You have reversed the roles. You are designing the dynamic. Let's go deeper into the Jungian shadow. Carl Jung said, I would rather be whole than good. To become whole, you must integrate your capacity for harm. You must be capable of being dangerous. This is the point of this video, the one thing you must do to stop being taken advantage of. You must be willing to burn the bridge while you are still standing on it. People exploit you because they know you are attached to outcomes. You need the job. You need the relationship. You need calm. The one who cares the least holds the most power. This is the iron law of relationships. If you cannot walk away, you are a captive, and captives are exploited. To walk away, you must build a certain ruthlessness, not toward others, but toward your own desire for comfort. You must choose the uncertainty of the unknown over the suffocation of the familiar. This means integrating aggression. Aggression is not violence. Aggression is the force that moves you forward through resistance. It is the energy that says, this is my boundary. If you cross it, there will be a cost. Without aggression, boundaries are only suggestions, lines in sand washed away by the tide. With integrated aggression, boundaries become walls. Think about a moment when someone disrespected you and you stayed silent. You felt heat in your chest, tension in your throat. That was your shadow demanding expression. That was your self-respect trying to protect you. And you suppressed it. You swallowed the toxin to keep peace, and the toxin made you ill. Next time, allow the heat to rise. You don't need to shout. You don't need to fight. You only need to meet their eyes calmly and say, I will not accept that. And then, this is crucial, you stop speaking. You don't explain. You don't justify. You don't apologize. You state the boundary and remain silent. The silence will feel heavy. It will feel uncomfortable. The other person will react. They may joke. They may blame you. They may say you're too sensitive. You do not respond. You hold eye contact. You are showing them the presence beneath the politeness, something immovable. This moment changes everything. Their mind reclassifies you from safe and usable to respected and dangerous. You become a person with consequence. The reason you haven't done this is because you rely on external regulation. You need others to confirm that you're okay. If they're upset, your inner world, silent treatment, is used to force you into apologizing. It turns into a game you observe, not a tragedy you experience. And once you are watching the game, you can choose not to participate. You can step off the board. With someone who uses manipulation, the only winning move is not to play. This requires a shift in identity. You have mistaken availability for value. You believe that being constantly present makes you important. That is incorrect. Water is everywhere, so it is taken for granted. Diamonds are rare, so they are protected. You must move from being a helper to being a builder. Helpers get used. Builders get paid. Helpers seek appreciation. Builders set a price. Ask yourself, what are you building? Your body, your mind, your future, your mission? Or are you carrying bricks for someone else's kingdom? When you focus on your own purpose, your availability naturally decreases. You do not need to act busy. You are busy. You are occupied building a life that does not rely on anyone's approval. This creates attraction. People are drawn to momentum. When they see progress, they want to be part of it. They begin to pursue you. But now they do so because they respect you, not because you are easy to access. This is the transition from the nice guy to the architect. The architect has a blueprint. He follows a plan. He does not stop to fix small problems because he is constructing something larger. If someone wants access to the architect's time, they must offer equal value. They must rise to the standard. This naturally removes parasites. Parasites search for weakness. They look for exposed wounds. They cannot cling to a moving train. So move forward. Have a purpose greater than your relationships. This may sound harsh, but it is essential for healthy connection. If your partner is your entire world, you become a burden. If you have your own world, you become a partner. You become interesting. You become challenging. People value what they must earn. Stop giving yourself away freely. Make others earn access to you. Create a VIP section in your life. Not everyone is allowed inside. The entry fee is respect. The cost is reciprocity. If someone cannot meet it, they remain outside. And you do not feel guilty because you understand the worth of what you protect. There is a failure greater than most others, self-betrayal. Every time you say yes while meaning no, you abandon yourself. You tell your mind that your needs do not matter, that your safety comes second. Repeat this enough times and resentment grows inward. This is why you feel exhausted, not from work, but from the constant inner conflict. The battle between who you are and who you pretend to be to please others.